Travellers who live on an illegal site in Essex staged a demonstration today against their eviction. They live at Dale Farm, one of the biggest traveller sites in Europe, and say even if they are evicted, the local council would have to find them somewhere else to stay.
This is Dale Farm. Around half the pitches here are illegal. The travellers face eviction, but they aren't going without a fight. The legal battle over Dale Farm has rumbled on for 7 long years, and as you can probably hear, it doesn't seem to be over yet. This is the latest protest outside the offices of Basildon District Council. After losing appeals to courts in this country, the travellers now claim any attempt to evict them would breach international law.
We are presenting a legal memorandum which argues, although we concede that we must leave Dale Farm at some point, we should not be forced to do so without another piece of land to go to.
But haven't you already lost the legal argument?
We have lost everything. We've been fighting for 7 years and we have lost just everything. And we're in a web and we don't know what way to turn. And we don't want it to turn out nasty because no one is going to leave without a fight, and it'll be a dirty one.
But the local council's getting ready for an eviction.
We can avoid a forced eviction, we will. But on the other hand, we are procuring the services of bailiffs.
Despite their continued protests, the Dale Farm travellers may be running out of time. Gareth George, BBC Look East.
A man's appeared in court accused of an arson attack which destroyed 2 houses in Harlow. 25 people were led to safety from their homes when the fire broke out on the Bearcroft estate last month. 29-year-old Yuan Chao is charged with arson, violent behaviour and criminal damage. A robber who held up a supermarket in Clacton could be caught literally red-handed. The raider pulled a knife on a manager at the Co-op in Cooper's Lane. He got away with a 4-figure sum, but the police have revealed the notes were covered in dye. They're now appealing for sightings of a skinny man with red hands.
Plans to open the controversial guided bus system in Cambridgeshire have been put back again. The route, which will run from St Ives to the centre of Cambridge, should have been opened earlier this year.
By now, this guideway should be busy with buses speeding passengers through the Cambridgeshire countryside. The original opening date was set for the spring. That was then pushed back to September, and now it isn't expected to open until November.
There have been some specific issues about a noise barrier in the Histon area, which have been quite difficult to sort out, but I think now they can see the way clear, and that's absolutely right that they tell us they can finish so that we can give people the good news when the buses will be running.
This latest delay is being felt particularly hard here in St Ives, where work on the busway is virtually complete. People here are now hoping that this time the county council sticks to its word.
Well, we're all sad that there is a delay, but what it will mean if it's open by Christmas is that the traffic will come in, and we see lots of shopping opportunities here for people who live in the direction of Cambridge and Cambridge itself. No parking problems here. They won't need to park, they'll come on the bus.
And running even later is this section of the guided bus which links Cambridge railway station with Addenbrooke's Hospital. Now, the County Council won't even give a date when they think this section might open, but it's not expected to be until the middle of next year. When it's finally open, the County Council hopes the guided bus will take traffic off the notoriously busy A14, and only then will the people of Cambridgeshire know whether the bus has been worth the wait. Stuart Radcliffe, BBC Look East, Cambridgeshire.
More overhead power lines are being taken down in Suffolk. EDF recently removed high-voltage cables in Dedham Vale. Now work is starting on a project costing £500,000 to bury lines which cross Aldborough and Icon Marshes. Graham Gooch, the former captain of the England cricket team, has been made a Deputy Lieutenant of Essex. The appointment comes in recognition of his contribution to cricket. He was one of the most successful international batsmen of his generation and was made Captain of Essex in 1986. He's one of 6 new Deputy Lieutenants in the county.
A stonemason from Norfolk is putting the finishing touches to a war memorial designed to honour hundreds of British servicemen who died in Cyprus in the 1950s. Most of the victims were national servicemen, including 12 from the Royal Norfolk Regiment.
Lest we forget, in memory of the 371 men who died serving in Cyprus in the 1950s, a stonemason in Dis is carrying out the work, inspected today by relatives and veterans.
So many times we've had this, you know, the Battle of Britain Memorial, for example, wasn't set up till 50 years after the event. So I'm afraid there seems to be a pattern in this country. We take a long time to get to recognise our young people who died in the service of our country.
12 men died from the Royal Norfolk Regiment, including John Elliott's 20-year-old brother, Peter. John wants recognition of his brother's contribution.
Unfortunately, he was killed, as many other soldiers were, by a friendly fire. Not as they are today, they don't bring them home. They had to be buried in Cyprus, and unfortunately we weren't able to go to the funeral, but we got all the information from the Ministry of Defence after.
The stonemason specialises in memorials to fallen soldiers. This one has special significance.
It was nice on this memorial because we were asked to contribute to the design, and we thought it'd be nice to have the old regimental badges and the Christian name of the soldiers, because it brings to life more, really.
The memorial's being flown out to Cyprus next month to be housed in a British cemetery in memory of the young men who lost their lives for their country. And Janet Gadgill for BBC Look East in Dis.